I like the Mick Nite.
I love you, man.
Filmed in front of him, live
It's Mick
studio.
at night. It's such a delight. Hey, everybody, it's Mick at night. Filmed live in front of a studio audience.
Well,
I told you, live in front of a studio audience.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Dude.
I knew it.
Oh, dude. So fuck you, Sturdy, first of all, for this week of sticking me down the road of Letterboxd.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was happily denying ever touching Letterboxd for years. I just had an account and I was occasionally be like, I'm going to take it seriously this time. And then I would do like 5 movies and then never touch it for another year.
Mine's still floating out there somewhere. I don't know. Tim's the big Letterboxd guy. He's been on it reliably for years now. And I don't know why. Like nobody can convince me or show me like, I like, hey, what is it? This is my problem. We have all these platforms, right? And I saw this poll today from somebody who has a shit ton of followers on Instagram. And they asked, it's a bartender thing because half of my Instagram is bartending stuff. What is your favorite platform? And it showed Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like not even close Instagram. Now that's a bad sample size because it's somebody responding on Instagram about it. But that means that among the people that are tuning into this guy, so this is a bartender that gets like his YouTube show gets like, 500,000 views, that type of thing, right? So among the people that tune into him on Instagram, 95% of them said that Instagram is their favorite platform. Now, here's my problem with this. We have all these platforms. I constantly have railed against this for over a decade. I don't feel any difference between any of them. Maybe you guys can really explain to me like why you feel one way or another, but I don't have a strong feeling about a single social media platform.
That's probably the safest bet. You mind if I take this one first, 30?
No, go ahead.
If I'm gonna have to choose, like you're holding gun. Well, right now, like I'm moving everything to Discord. I want, and I like the idea of it. So right now, I have to say Discord is my favorite. And it's actually funny you mention that because I just put the link down. So join. But and I appreciate you guys have been fucking murdering it with the Discord, and I really appreciate it. And I was so pulled away for like a while that focusing on Discord or anything else, like it was just too much. It was like, how you get that one too many things, and it's like I can't, like I have to let it go. And that's why I always appreciated how much you guys did for it. But I was like, but that's where the community is. That's where the people who listen to the show are. That's where the people I want to talk. And I'm over here on Facebook, and it's just miserable. Instagram is like does nothing for you unless you're gorgeous or you have like a job where you're like a cool job like bartending stuff. But nobody gives a shit about podcaster. So I'm not. But I like TikTok, and here's why. I don't have to see something if I don't want to. A flick of a thumb, I can still be entertained.
True.
And kind of turn off my mind or see something creative from other like filmmakers. It's a really great filmmaking tool. Because you can be inspired by it. You can see what other people are doing. You can just flick past it if you don't like what somebody's saying. Or if you're a troll, you can find just those people you want to troll. Like
trolling.
So that's probably why that's my favorite right now.
What about you, Stir? Do you have a platform you prefer?
I'm kind of with you, Dan. Not really. Like shit. Maybe YouTube, I guess. If I had to choose, and I say that because you can kind of go and pick what you want. You don't have to see all the bullshit, corny social media shit you see on every other platform, including Instagram and all that stuff. YouTube, you could literally type in what you want, go right to the videos or whatever. So if you count YouTube as one, then I'm probably YouTube. And it's honestly probably the one I use the most too, as far as like me and the wife are chilling to go on there and watch a few YouTube channels. I don't want to shout them out because they're bigger than us and they're not paying us. They're not going to shout us out.
You come to us because we're tiny.
Yeah, come help us.
Like, YouTube, but no, like, is YouTube like the old man one now? Just because
I
we've
would
had
say YouTube. I wouldn't call it the old man one, but I would definitely call it the, weirdly enough, the most dignified out of it.
Yeah.
That's not saying much. That's not saying, hey, listen, put a monocle on YouTube. But I would say out of all of them, like they've evolved the best for 20 years of whatever they've been doing, all the video work, everything. They've evolved the best. There's still others have come and tried.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But YouTube, I find, will go with the flow. If others come around and they offer something better, YouTube will change it and add that or something like that. Because I just feel like they just want to keep you. And like even when they tried YouTube TV, failed experiment. Trust me, I know on a minuscule scale. So was the SnobNation network. So like I get it. Like it's Yahoo knows it better than anybody. So like, so like I get it, but it's like they adapted and they're still going. So you can still rent movies, you can still watch live TV through YouTube, and you can now get the NFL ticket through YouTube. So like it's like they've evolved so much to find things that people want.
I do have YouTube Premium. Like that's the only one I've ever. I pay for what is it, like $13.99 a month or whatever, so I don't have to watch ads. But I don't know. It was a weird thing that came up, and I was just thinking in my head. I was like, I wonder if other people have like a preference. I mean, I'm such an early adopter. I was on Facebook when it was the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And remember when you had to have a fucking college ID?
You had to have a login from a university to be on it. If you did not have a university email, you could not log into Facebook. And like, I don't know. I just like all the different stuff that's gone through over the years, everything that's popped up. You know what my favorite still is? AOL Instant Messenger from 1998.
What was your handle?
Tyler Durden 999.
Yes.
Like from Fight Club.
Sturdy, what was yours?
Oh my gosh. Are you sure you want to hear this?
Yes, because you're ready to hear mine.
I had a few. I had I'm trying to think if I remember some. From South Park. I stole this one from South Park. Talongar the Black. Black Top. Medium black boy. Medium because my complexion. Light skins didn't accept me, neither did dark skins. So medium.
Medium.
Sturdy, I accept you for whatever you are.
I appreciate that.
You can come to Arctic Outs, but they're way more depressing.
I used to pine over my away message. Like what would I put up for my away message? What was I going to put up while I had like?
I could tell you mine.
I change it like every day. I change it.
Oh, I thought you forgot it. I'm sorry. I thought he said he forgot his.
I pined away. I would like.
I don't remember my away messages. It would always be some wild shit.
It was
whatever came to mind. I would just type it.
It was two things. So first of all, my handle was Liquid K768. So my uncle gave me that. He's only like 3 years older than me. So he gave me that when I was signing up. And he's just like, here, Liquid K768 is cool. And I'm like, and I didn't know what it meant for like the entirety of high school. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I learned it. My first away message was, and I got it from a friend. You may be great. You may be a great king or a little street sweeper. Sooner or later, we all danced the Reaper. Yeah. It was high school, man. Like I was so corny.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is deep.
And the next one was a Bon Jovi fucking lyric.
Bon Jovi.
I'm not gonna say which one. I embarrass myself enough, and I'm sure I will even more tonight. So like, I'll save that for another night. If you're a true fan, you can ask me at one point.
That's it. See, to me, that I don't know, that social media has become so non-social and so impersonal that like that mattered to me. And you'd get home, log in, and it dial up. You get that annoying dial up, and then I would go on to playing whatever I was playing, whether it was like Diablo or StarCraft or whatever dumb PC game I was playing at the time. And then you'd get done playing whatever you're doing, and you drop down out of the game, and you'd be like, oh, I have to check my messages. You pull it up, like see who did, like it was just much more personal in my opinion, and like I don't know. It was just a weird question that came in my head today while I was.
I love that.
I could see why though, Dan, because you figure like on Facebook, like right now, let's just use just Facebook because you have so many. You could talk to 1,000 people. On AIM, you can only talk to who you know, and like what or whoever's, you know, whoever.
Chats.
Yes.
I knew somebody who fell in love and got married until he died from love at AOL.
Love at AOL.
And I'm still surprised by that.
But I mean,
never give it away.
It makes sense. It does make sense. People connecting online, and it still happens to this day. And
I have a friend that I connected with. She was a girl I met online in a chat room, and which back then wasn't as sketchy as it is now.
No.
No, it was sketchy. I mean, anything where you can connect with people can become sketchy real fast.
Real fast.
You're always going to be there's always like predators on there, and I'm talking about of all sorts, but this was one where, but there was actually a lot of people using it, so it wasn't like you got a 70-30 chance that this is a dude. You know, it was more like a 50
more like a 50-50 chance.
In the 90s, it was a 50-50 shot.
You can roll the dice at least. Take those odds.
That is what. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. It's just crazy because you like look back and think of shit. You're like, how could these kids be so stupid to get in a chat room and go meet somebody? But then you're sitting here having these conversations like, oh shit.
You want to hear? So a funny story about the girl I met back then. I think I was like 16. She was like 14 at the time. She's only like 2 years younger than me. And so we were just talking, like, and we became friendly, and we've been friends for years. Like, we stayed like pen pal type friends, and then onto MySpace, on the Facebook, everything. I still know her. We're still friends, dude. This will tell you the power of 2020. Like, because she was hardcore one side, you know, very Christian based, and I was very hardcore the other side. And like, I remember she unfriended me because of like a lot of stuff, and like we were kind of going back at it, and I just thought to myself, and I'm like, what are we doing? I've been friends with you since the 90s. We talk. We know each other. I'm like, I'm not just, and I told her, I was like, I'll cool it. I get it. We're just different. But, you know, we've been friends since the 90s. I'm not going to let this go because of some bullshit. And we've been cool ever since. Like, she understood, and she said the same thing. But it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's just so crazy how you can be friends with somebody that long, and then like real quick, it's like
it's crazy. It's crazy.
So, power of social media.
Yeah. It is because like even with text, things are different. Like when you're typing something to somebody, no matter what the conversation is, you could take it a little bit different. Like,
remember when we used to text people in the early days of cell phones and say, "Don't call me till after 9"?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And it was that, and it was the 9 o'clock thing. And then I remember if you paid a little bit extra, I know AT&T did it. You paid a little extra, or no, it wasn't even that. AT&T did it. I think they were one of the first ones where they started it at 7.
7.
That's what it was. Yes. 7 o'clock. And I was like, oh shit.
Because that's
that even applied to landlines back then. Like, I paid for the extra so that way I could call. It was anywhere calling after 8 p.m. And so I wouldn't call my parents on the landline. And back then, I mean, like I didn't get a cell phone until probably 2006. I bet.
That was about the time I got it. What was your first cell phone?
Shit.
It was just a flip phone. I can't remember the brand.
Nextel. It was definitely Nextel. The bleepity bleep. It was.
I didn't have Nextel. The old black Motorola one. Remember, it had the antenna that popped up. It was a little wire, and then you flipped it, and it had like the green screen.
Yeah. Mine did not have an antenna that extended. It was just a nub because I wanted a small one. But I made sure that the very first one I had the internet on it, and I remember checking scores to sports games and thinking, this is the future. And I like then think about like
that makes sense. Huh?
Yeah, shit.
Who stepped in? So Sturdy, you said that you had a Nokia. I had a Nokia. Oh no, you had a Nextel.
Nextel, yeah.
I did get a Nokia after because that seemed to like be where everybody rolled, and I wanted to text more. Like it was easier to text on those. And after that, I switched to the Sidekick.
Did you guys have any friends who had the Sprint? Beep, beep.
The Nextel. Yeah, that was the Nextel thing.
Yeah, is that what it was? All my friends had that, and I was so jealous.
I was jealous, but at the same time, I hated it.
I had a love-hate relationship with that phone because I have family members and friends that are just like me. So they just say some wild ass shit. And it's like, yo, I'm at work.
I'm at work. All right, I'm gonna eat the first piece of this. Atomic dark.
Don't do it now. Don't do it now.
All right, I'm in. You ready?
You're gonna learn. He's gonna be out in like 10 seconds. He's gonna be like, all right, I gotta go. All right, Dan is taking a ghost pepper, a chocolate-covered ghost pepper, because he's a maniac. I'm gonna make you big so we can watch your face swell up. This is where it's going. If you're in the comments, please join in. Let's have fun. We're gonna spin the wheel in a few.
There you go.
There you go. Shit'll make you feel alive.
Not bad.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay. Spin it, and I'll take the first topic while I'm. It's like hot ones except with chocolate, apparently. Wow, it's hot.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna make us same size so that way it's big.
There we go.
All right, everybody, here we go. Let's spin the wheel of absurdity.
Woo!
Waiting questions out, so I'm ready to go.
I'm gonna hold off on drinking anything just because I want to feel the burn while I'm answering.
You can see your face sweating. Number 18. Who's ready?
Lucky 18. Let's go.
All right. What would happen if movie characters had social media? That's a weird question.
So like if they were real people?
So let's take it back to old movie characters because new movie characters do have social media and it's working for that. But so, all right, let's do this then.
They'd probably be canceled in 16 seconds.
That's very fucking fair.
Yes, yeah, he's right.
Shake. I have the same Aqua.
Mine is not signed, Radar, but
nice.
I do have all the old version of the DVDs because I still have them from college. Wow, that's hot. That is really hot.
I love it.
So they'd be canceled in like 5 seconds. Imagine so think Maltese Falk and Humphrey Bogart's character.
That's true.
It'd be canceled in like seconds, right? Like,
I'll just say Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, and that was so funny with the meta that they went with it.
I don't think you can make that movie today.
Unfortunately,
but it's the same with History of the World Part 2 that they made on Hulu. It was funny, but it was funny by today's standards.
It was tame compared to the original, like
big time. And it makes, you know what is really sad is when you do movie, like you can tell when they revisit movies like that and they're talking to the great filmmakers who made those original movies. But they're like, oh, we're going to remake it and we're going to do this, or we're going to do a sequel to it or this, and it's going to be great. And we'd love for you to come on. And then you can just tell they're endorsing it, but their heart's broken a little bit.
Like Mark Hamill when he was doing what was the second one called where they ran out of gas? That's Jedi.
Oversimplifying plots.
That's it. Like when I defended that movie until a friend told me that, and I was like, okay, I'm done defending.
They didn't run out of gas. They ran out of gas.
They ran out of gas.
Radar, you might not have seen it, but the reason why I'm like dying right now, I just ate a big chunk of it, this chocolate.
And I think it's time for number 2. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. You're gonna
now you know. No, let's let it calm down a bit.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does want to push boundaries because it's too risky. There's too much money invested in it. And so when you push a boundary, you have to the only people pushing boundaries are small people. And so it's harder to reach a specific audience anymore. It's not like
I feel like if you push a boundary, you have to knock it out the fucking park. It's just like a comedian that tells like those crazy ass jokes. You have to knock it out the park. It has to be funny to the majority. And as far as the boundaries thing, it has to make sense. It has to be, I guess, make sense for the story, whatever you're trying to tell. Be a good story, or if it's trying to be funny but really crossing that line, you have to be fucking hilarious. Like if you're gonna cross that line and take that risk, which I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but you better make sure it's great. You better make sure it's really good. That's the thing. But I feel like we do need it. And I mean, shit, we see a lot more worse shit in the real world. A lot more worse.
Social media is a made up place. I mean,
well, let me change it up a little bit. So let's take a movie that never had social media, wasn't even a presence, and it's the same movie.
Yep.
But let's add a world where social media exists. How does it change that movie? Let's go Die Hard. Do you think that Hans finds out about John McClane even faster?
Yeah. Texting. That because that's gonna be texting. There's gonna be people in the party, tweet, all kinds of crazy shit's gonna be going on with that.
Yeah. I mean, and it just get like because that would actually be kind of interesting to see, like, sort of how that would take place, like in terms of social media, like people texting out. There's terrorists in the building taking over, like.
And nobody doubts him. So remember, he called. How many times does he call before somebody believes him? Like 3.
True. Oh my God. True. Right.
Yeah. Like
that would be all over Twitter while it was happening.
Or going live. Like, yo, look what's going on. Come fucking help.
Yeah.
I'm not lying this time.
That's still so funny to me. That's like I don't know. You see these shows now. You see these shows now like 911 or shit like that, where it's like it holds it to esteem. And I don't want to get into the whole, but like in the movie side of it. But then you go back and like, oh yeah, everybody's dedicated to their job. I'm sure. I've known some 911 operators. And then you get to like Die Hard and it's be like, it feels more real.
All right, let's let Sturt spin.
Start spin?
Sturdy spin. All right, I'm going to pull it up. Let's get it going. Here we go.
Let's see what this brings us.
Sturdy, you're up first answering, as the man says.
51.
51. There we go. Let's move that bad boy. You can go back down in there, and let's see what 51 has in hold. I do like what Radar's saying here. They should make a movie set where tech works, but internet doesn't. It'd be interesting to see. People would be going crazy. They'd be bored. I'm trying to get off the internet more.
I live my life fairly. It's funny. I did like fairly internet less. I don't like the only thing that I use the internet for on a daily basis.
Porn.
Would be like sports. Yeah, because I don't game online with people. I text you guys.
Yeah.
I don't use social media really.
You're a smart man.
Yeah, I don't like, and up until recently at our lake house in the summer, remember I had to bow out of all those events during the summer just because like we didn't have internet up there. And so we'd go up there and all we had was like old school. And if I had to check sports scores, I had to like drive into town.
You had to drive into town? Holy shit, I love that.
You think, but I'm so into fantasy that like, you know, fantasy baseball, it's really hard to set your team for a week. Fantasy football in the fall, oh man, like you got to get your update Sunday morning. Like it's weird. I loved it, but I also was so annoyed by it that finally this last year we put internet. But it didn't change our life that much. Like everybody was worried people would just sit there and no, like everything's still pretty analog. And for the most part, we still watch TV over the air or watch Blu-rays and DVDs. We spend most of our time listening and 8-tracks for music. Like We listen to a lot of 8-tracks, a lot of CDs up there.
I love that.
I love that you said that, because it's just making me think in my mind. Like, just imagine if you had one room in your house, like, listen, this room right here, no internet is allowed at all, no cell phones, no nothing. Shit, we have a regular phone in this room, and this room is where we come in here. We watch DVDs, VHSs, and Blu-rays. Nothing else. That would be dope.
Well, how do you guys feel about the Dave Chappelle thing? Where, like, I get it. I mean, I'm not questioning the cell phone side of it, but the other day when he was on stage and like he saw one cell phone and just walked off.
He just walked off. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about stuff like that?
He does say, he makes it known, no cell phones. Do not pull your cell phone out.
It's in the ticket, like when you get your ticket.
Yeah. So, and if someone breaks the rules, I mean, you just broke the rules. It sucks for everyone else that didn't break the rule.
But do you think it should be kick them out, stop the show, kick them out because they broke the rules, or walk off like that? Like, do you think that's, well, I guess I understand the walk off because now you're out of camera view.
Yeah. Because I look at it like, if you stop, say you stop the show to kick this person out, that could fuck up the whole flow of everything, and kind of just, even if you're cracking on the person, but if you're just like, yo, get out of here, you know you're not supposed to have a phone, it could, but at the same, so is walking off stage, I guess, too. So,
and not addressing it, because if he addressed it, it's on camera.
That's a tough call. But it could have been something that he dealt with before, and he's just like, I'm fucking tired of this shit.
I was at the show in Detroit, Mick. I was at the show in Detroit that he apologized for when he had gotten so high that he didn't have any jokes.
Damn.
Shit.
Oh, it was so disappointing. It was me, Tim, and my wife. Like, apparently it's literally the only show ever that he, until now, when he walked off halfway through the set. 2 shows ever. But I don't know. See, here's the thing. It's like, I think that should be the policy for every live event.
Yeah,
like,
I like that. I like that idea.
I don't see it, but with me, I don't mind if people want to take pictures and all that shit. But when you're on your phone for stuff like that, which, I mean, 9 times out of 10 for stuff like, I mean, well, for a concert and all, I wouldn't be on my phone. But if I'm out, say, like the track, I still enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. But here and there, I'll take some pictures. But I think that's one thing I think people kind of forget or miss out on, is like, sometimes, like, I know you want to pull your phone out and take a picture and take a video so you can put this memory and post it on social media, but it's like, you gotta get old school with it. Just fucking enjoy that moment and have that memory, and then just tell those stories down the road.
Live it.
So
yeah.
I get annoyed though, because as I'm trying to, like, if I'm not in the front row, so I'm trying to watch it, suddenly all these screens pop up, right?
Yeah.
And all that light pollution, like, now I don't have this, but I imagine if you had astigmatism or something, that has to impact.
It has to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I get so annoyed by it. Tim's just like, you're just old. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm old. I'm 40. Like, I get annoyed when people have their phones out. I would like, be here now. Live in the moment. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the event. And I always say this, like, who's pulling out their phone 2 weeks later and listening to this really shitty audio quality of a concert where they're like, man, I was right there. I've never felt
once.
Yeah.
I've never, well, I don't record one of my concerts. I don't record one of my places because I want to enjoy it. I'm there to enjoy it. The memory is mine. But I could never fathom, unless the only thing I could think of where I might record something would always be asked first. You know, whether I'm at a comedy event or something, like, listen, I run this thing, the Scene Snobs. I would love to take a clip and just be like, hey, I was here. You know, and if it's a no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, but again, after I do that though, I want to put it away and watch it. I want to enjoy it. And a lot of times I will forego that stuff just to not ruin a moment.
No, that's fair though.
And now think about the people that watch it through it now. So you are experiencing this event, not present, but through a lens where you are seeing it differently than you would be seeing it if you were just sitting in your seat, right? Mm-hmm. Like, now here's the thing: if it's an event like a sporting event, I'm not as upset about. Like if I'm at a Lions
if
game,
it's your kid or something.
I'm just saying a big like pro sporting kid stuff. Yeah, do it all day. I mean, like I think about a number of parents that do that at that stuff. Sure, but like at Ford Field, you got 70,000 people there, and somebody's pulling out their phone and like recording something. Like, I guess the difference is that's lights up versus lights down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a theater before where I'm watching a movie where I've told somebody to put the damn phone away.
Oh,
apparently,
yeah.
I got my teacher voice on because these teenagers put their phones away, and I was like, damn, I didn't think that would work.
Like, you don't mess around like that. That's disrespectful as hell.
Not even talk about them damn sons of bitches teenagers. I don't like it. I don't give a fuck if I sound old either.
We have a theater you can't go to if you are under the age of 18. You can't go there past 6 p.m.
I'm telling you right now, I would have if I owned a theater. If you're under 18, if you're under 21, you ain't coming here without an adult at all. I'm not dealing with that bullshit. You guys acting like fools, talking through my goddamn move. Nah, fuck that.
They do that at the Alamo here too, but it's like, and I love that they do it because they're like, all right, this is an adult only viewing of this.
Yeah,
you know, and so I get it. You can't do that with everything, and you shouldn't. Like some movies, like why would you? But like for a lot of those newer ones, that makes sense. Like we don't want the kids here.
No, this theater be no kids. Hell no. What about my kids? Get a babysitter or go to a different theater. I'm sorry.
Don't see the movie. I hate that. I hate that fucking argument. Well, what about my kids? You're not allowed. They're not allowed to come in.
Yeah, I'll be like, my kids aren't here. Listen, I'm like, my kids are the reason why I made this fucking rule. No kids coming. It ain't about no. And as a parent,
didn't you guys sneak in to see movies when you were like 9, 10 years old? So you sneak in.
Oh yeah, but that was in the communal theaters where they played PG and R. You just go in there and pop in there, and you know. So yeah,
it's not the same as it was when we were kids. When we were kids, like adults, like fucking really buckled down and were like, "You're not allowed in here," and then we'd have to sneak in.
Yeah,
you know, like ideally, you'd have to sneak in to be able to see something.
I saw an actual fight once. The Star Wars Episode 7. A guy brought 4 of his kids with him, and they were lining up next to him. The kids weren't like sitting down, and this guy was sitting on the other side of him. And he was like, "You need to tell your kids to sit down, otherwise you need to get them out of the theater." And the 2 dads actually they had to delay starting the movie because the 2 dads got into a big fight.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. I hate that shit because it just doesn't help fucking anything. But at the same time, like every time I've ever been witness to a fight in some way, it has to do with something obnoxious. Like it's not like oh yeah, I just happened to piss him off or I was moving in a certain way. Like it's been cell phones in the most recent years, but like I remember back in the day, it was like the kids jumping around or the wife talking through it or something, and they're like, "Can you keep it down?" And then they get all fucking uppity.
Like shit like that too. It's like, yo, seriously, shut the fuck up. Like, I understand you paid for your ticket, but so the fuck did everybody else.
So did
everybody to hear your mouth or your kids or your wife, or I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
I just don't.
There's an etiquette that needs to be followed.
Yeah, and
I do it nicer. What I do is I raise a card because we have in the Alamos we have the thing. So I raise a card and a waiter will come over and I'll say, "Listen, either they leave or I'm going to make them leave." And that's it. And like usually it's like, well, maybe I'll tell them to keep. I was like, they leave or I make them leave, and that's obnoxious. Like you have to be really shitty. If you're talking, I could just be like, "Hey, listen, can you just tell them to keep it down?" Or I don't mind doing it, but I feel like it will come better from you because I'm a giant.
And I don't mind when people, you know, if it's not loud, like over the movie, so I'm hearing your damn conversation. If you guys hear this movie, because I know people do that. You're talking about a movie, you're talking about a scene, but when you're talking over it or talking loud enough for me to hear your conversation, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know. I fucking know, dude. Bless you.
That's not even respectfully either. That's disrespectfully. Shut the fuck up. Put a handful of popcorn in your mouth or something. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear you.
I think we can all agree we fucking hate you if you talk or make noise in movies.
Too loud, yes.
Mick's turn to spin.
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's see what these next absurdity questions are. I can always shift them.
That
Let's try
chocolate
Dan.
finally died down.
Good. Lucky number 13, baby. All right. So let's do it. All right. Number 13 is if Sturdy lost his balls to. No, sorry. Actually, it's kind of funny that I said your name in it, though. How would you survive a horror movie with only a banana? All right. So let's pick a horror movie to do this in.
Oh, man.
I'm baking them a banana bread and saying, please don't kill me. I have banana bread. I have a high source of potassium here. You want it?
I'm doing the old banana peel trick. I'm just throwing that shit over my shoulder and running, hoping they step on it.
Banana.
So I have to be one of those silly ass horror comedies.
I think the funniest text I've ever received in my life. I love a good, like, just snarky text sometimes. It's just, especially when it like lands. And I remember it was years ago when Leslie Nielsen died. I was super fucking late when I found out. And I'm like on my phone, laying on my couch watching TV. And I texted my buddy and I'm like, dude, Leslie Nielsen died. And it like took like 5 minutes for him to respond. And then he responds, banana peel, question mark. That lives rent free in my head forever. I will still just laugh about that fucking text because all I imagine is him actually dying because he slipped on a banana peel.
Have you guys seen Beverly Hills Cop?
The original? Oh yeah, no tailpipe. Oh yeah.
So yeah, and it like think about like Christine, banana in the tailpipe. Literally though.
It's true.
Dad joke.
Carrie.
Yeah. Boop.
Eat some potassium while you're in the closet.
Jesus.
I was thinking something different.
That's what she was supposed to pray to.
Oh gosh. Sturdy.
Sturdy's all in. He's like, yep.
That's for the late night with Sturdy kind of answer I was about to say.
Holy shit.
Oh shit.
Right,
oh my goodness.
Some of these have been duds tonight. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go back to Dan's wheel. I like Dan's wheel, but it was mostly hard, so that's why I was like kind of like, I don't know if I can just do hard. Fuck it, we're just here. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Number 91. I can't do Dan's wheel because he only goes to 50. Never mind. All right, number 91. You ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's my turn anyway. My turn.
Yes. It's actually oddly specific too, just like the last one. What if you could rewrite a movie to include your pet? What movie would it be?
Trying to think of one that's the dog doesn't die. The new Guardians of the Galaxy.
You would want your dog in that?
But just the
At what part? You can't pick.
Oh, I can pick. I'm rewriting it.
That's true, but like you gotta be fair too.
the cosmonaut part where she's a good dog at the end.
Cosmo. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. You're gonna make your dog a communist though. Good on you.
Probably is. Well, no, dogs are like anti-communist. All they care about is themselves. She'd tell me like I'd sell everything I own to make sure she's okay. She'd sell me for a cracker.
That's true.
Yeah. They don't love us like they used to. What about you, Sturd? What do you think? What's a movie that works with your dogs in it?
Let's see.
Or like, would you run a rewrite so she could be in it?
Oh, the little dog?
Anyone.
Or
he. Both of them. I'm an equal opportunity dog lover.
I don't know. I gotta think of. Let me think about that one.
You do not get to think about it. You have to answer right now. No, I'll go. My dog. You know what? If I had to rewrite her into it, I think like I don't want her to go on a harrowing journey though. But I would say like a Homeward Bound.
Like that's it. I don't want her to feel pain. I don't want her to like.
Definitely not Milo and Otis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Homeward
Banner
Bound.
says Underdog. Yeah, it could be the
Underdog's a good one.
But doesn't Underdog lose their owner?
Oh God, I hope
Isn't that
not.
the whole plot?
Well, I don't want to lose my dog.
Yeah.
She's my source of wonder.
Turner and Hooch.
Hooch.
James.
That movie
He
gave
died
me-
in that movie. The dog dies.
Oh,
Hooch doesn't die.
He does. Remember, they find the puppies at the end, and he gets a new puppy.
Oh my God, I don't remember that. That's terrible.
I know.
did the dog stay alive in Beethoven?
Yeah, because there's like
Beethoven.
5 of them. There's like 5 of those movies.
There you go, Beethoven. I couldn't think of any other damn dog movies. It wasn't clicking.
Airbud.
If not,
Yeah.
What's the saddest animal?
actually,
death
yes,
animal?
Airbud. Yep, Airbud.
There's
Saddest animal death?
Big
There's a
dog.
new Airbud TV show. It's called Air Academy, and it's just an academy for Pup Academy.
John Wick. John Wick is the saddest animal.
Oh, that was
So,
awful.
Yeah,
I had a rough go. with that.
I have a really rough go anytime any pet dies in a movie. A pet or kids. Like I don't like them. Like I get useless death of kids. Like it sucks. I don't want any kids to die in movies or at all. But like if it's part of the plot device, like if it's a movie about grieving parents, like clearly something has to happen here.
Yeah.
And I know that going into it. But like if I'm watching a horror movie or a thriller, I know it can happen. And when it's done right, and I feel like done in a respectful way and not exploitative of a child death scene, then it's effective and I can appreciate it. It's well written. But there's some movies, man, where they'll kill the kids off. Like I think Halloween in 2018 was an effective use of killing a kid.
Shit.
Because it worked well, but they didn't kill the baby.
I didn't see that one alone. I gotta watch that again.
You know what I mean? 2018 Halloween, I think
was that's legitimately a good movie. Too bad
that's
actually.
Yeah.
You know what movie kills a dog that has no purpose in killing a dog? Megan. And we just rewatched that.
Oh yeah.
Why do they kill the dog in that movie? Like the dog doesn't even go on the other side of the fence, remember? It like stops. It doesn't even go on the other side of the fence. I
chalked that up to
what's up, Chris?
Her having no respect. Not that there should be respect for a machine to have respect for life, but that was like saying that was like the plot device to say, you know, because it was like kind of bullies up and like was that before the bullies or after?
That's before the bully.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's leading up. So to me, that's a natural progression of serial killer.
True.
You know, so it might be played like that. I would love to talk to the writers and find out. What's up, Chris?
What's good, Chris? What's good?
I love when Chris can join. Love you, buddy. I hope you're feeling good.
Yeah, Megan, even though I liked the movie, when we were rewatching, we're like, why did the dog die? That's it. Like, I don't understand what it doesn't really, but you're right. I guess that's a natural progression for a serial killer because like usually they start by killing animals. So
I will say, not to steal your step on you. I'm sorry, Sturdy. I would say writing, you know, there's a very famous book called Save the Cat. Like it's if you are going to kill an animal, it has to mean something. Yeah. In a movie, because like you're gonna turn your audience if you don't. So like, and it's supposed to be the same with a kid, but I feel like we've lost a lot of, you know, respect in that. But and I'm not even saying respect for the fact that you want to kill a kid, and I'm saying respect for the storytelling aspect of it. Like make it mean something because that's what a movie should do. So like killing an animal though will make you turn against villains.
Yeah.
So if the writers want to point out like this is a bad person, you know, killing an animal for some reason will adjust people's brains to be like, oh, this is a bad person.
You know, the movie that I've reassessed as compared to when I was a kid is Cujo. It makes me feel so bad for that dog. It terrified me as a child. That movie scared the hell out of me as a kid because we had that same car. Okay, I think it's a Chevy.
I thought it was a Pinto.
Is it Ford Pinto? Whatever it was, we had the same. Either me or my uncle had the same car, something like that. So it terrified the car part terrified me when they're locked in the car. But the I feel as an adult now, like the dog did nothing wrong. Like, and it
wasn't even a bad dog, you know. Like
No.
you could make the argument in a movie for a dog that just is kind of vicious or bites a kid or something like that. Like you can make the argument and you can play with people's feelings on that. But yeah, that dog didn't do anything. You're right.
Digging.
Yeah.
Huh?
Damn bats. That's it. Like, and I can boil this down to just bats. Like,
and the dog wouldn't react. The dog would just be afraid of her. Like dog. Like if you turn on a Roomba, a fucking dog goes crazy. You know, it doesn't get happy. You know. I fix my wheel. Talk amongst yourselves.
You got two stirred?
Yeah, I've one Old Yeller.
You want your dog? Oh, that's a sad one. I got.
No, that's a sad. We be past that, Mick. And then another one, taking this in a different direction because the whole movie it's animated and it was all animals. Mufasa's death.
Oh, the hardest death in a fucking movie. Oh,
Shakespearean. Shakespearean.
Yes. And then of course, if you guys check out the Scene Snobs, you see why I feel like that towards the Lion King. I did mention it. I don't remember the episode, but I did mention it.
I'll throw it out there. It's a good one.
So that's Lion King.
Find that shit, people.
Yeah.
30 was on it.
Dig deep.
It was sometime in 2023 between I don't remember.
Sturdy's got
Was Casey on it or not?
Towards the end of the year.
Watch them all. What are you gonna say, Dan?
Sturdy's got a spin now.
Let's do a spin.
My turn.
I like the Wheel of Absurdity. Now I'm gonna go with the Wheel of Deranged.
The Wheel of Deranged.
I should have ChatGPT come up with like 100 deranged topics.
Boom! There you go.
Let's do this.
I made ChatGPT do math for me today. I didn't feel like doing it.
It's a good tool for that. And that's what it should be. It should be fucking help you do your job.
Oh, there we go. 30
yeah. 36. 30 sturdy.
36.
All right, here we go. It is. What if movies had to follow real world physics strictly? This is going to be a fun one. Could you imagine that? There's so many movies that wouldn't exist, or people would be dead.
Let's think about what it's like to take a punch, and
let's take all fantastical movies out. So all magic movies, all superhero movies.
Okay.
Where physics can't possibly be like ours because then they just wouldn't exist.
Okay.
So let's like any cop movie, the cop's dead.
Oh yeah, done. Die Hard. That's over in like.
I was gonna say, damn near every action movie.
Every action, dude. Speed. Could you imagine the real world physics of speed? Well, first of all, if they do make it to the overpass that's not finished, they're dead.
That just goes like
Terminator.
I mean, you know what this really is
all that jumping shit. Like that's not gonna happen.
No. What was the show Mythbusters? This is really just Mythbusters, is what it is, right?
Basically.
Like,
yeah.
And every time somebody goes through glass, anytime somebody gets punched, like, as somebody who has been punched enough in his life, like, getting punched sucks, man. And people get punched all the time. And it's like one single punch. I boxed for a long time. And I know how to take a punch. And I'm still like, if somebody punched me, I'm like, man, that sucks.
Yeah. There is no alternative. There isn't like you take it and you're just like, I'm a man. Like you can take it and you can say that, but it still sucks to get punched in the face.
Like, or anybody gets hit by a car and doesn't die. Like,
well, I've been hit by a car and I didn't die. Let me prove of that.
You're like 900 feet tall.
That's true.
So did you think it just hit me and then fell over?
I think the car was the one that
over.
Dude, in Dan's world, when I'm walking around the city, It's like that scene with Hank Azaria in the Jurassic Park movie where he like steps. He's like right in between his toes. It's like, hey, Mick's out for a walk.
And he said he got hit by a car. That's bullshit.
Somebody drove their taxi right into him. Didn't even feel it.
I actually ran my bike into a car one time, but I had my helmet and shoulder pads on. I was on my way to football practice in middle school, and I came around a corner down an alley. I was going to be late for practice. I was going way too fast. Came around a corner. There was a car right there, and I went flying onto the like hood off my bike. It hurt so bad, even with the shoulder pads and helmet on. Like, I'm surprised I didn't do damage to the car, to be perfectly honest. I might have, I don't know. So I just like rolled off and got on my bike and just kept going on to practice. Yeah. And like,
this got hit by a car.
Well, it was parked. The car was parked, but like,
no, he hit a car. The car got hit by a dam. That person went out. They were just like, what the fuck happened?
This poor fucking people.
Yeah, he probably had like a broken headlight. And he's like, what the hell happened?
I'm late for school. He's like Marty McFlying it out of there.
I didn't like. There are so many movies like, you know what actually has, in my opinion, the movie that has the most realistic fight scene I've ever seen is Eastern Promises.
Oh yeah.
Those fight scenes in that movie are so, especially like, and this sounds weird to say, but like the one where they're all naked in the Turkish bath, like that part, especially when they're filming it inside the enclosed spots where they're inside the stall and how the violence erupts. The other one that's actually super realistic, and this sounds weird to say, but the death scenes in Halloween 2, the remake, the Rob Zombie remake.
Yeah, they were vicious, man. But they were like when he's beating him up in the I think it might have been the first one. When he's beating up Ken Foree in the stall.
My name's Joe Grizzly.
That was real. Like the physics thing where you're throwing them all out, like, all right, can you throw a guy around? Yes, you can, but it depends. Like, there is a ratio. It's not like I can throw somebody else who's 6'8" around. Like, we're trying, but like it would have to be somebody who's like 5'6" if I really want to get them like lofting in some air, you know, like anything over that is probably gonna be just, well, no, my brother's 5'8" and I could throw him.
Damn it, I'm 5'8". I thought I was gonna be 6.
That's a bad fucking like I'm all right. Here's the problem with me being the thing with it, because you guys are all smart people, all right? And me, I'm a guy who just back in the day liked to have fun, like to drink a little bit, like to partake in some wild nights. And I will say this, I'm starting this off right. I have never used a weapon on anyone. Never, I didn't have to. Well, all right. Does it count if you're in the fight already? And you just
I think it still counts.
You just grab shit. Or is it a foreign object? Can we just call them that?
It depends. Yeah. Like I've gotten into some brawls with people that are like your size, Mick. Yeah. And then I grab stuff. Like,
I don't blame you at all.
I mean, I'm only 5'11". I grab. I'm not going to try to go toe to toe with somebody that's like 6'8". You know, it's just not going to happen.
I've never met a guy my size that picks fights. I'm not saying they don't exist, but again, I'm also that size too. So
yeah, that's true.
It's hard to see something from other people's when you are that size. You know what I mean? I always used to get challenged because of my size, especially by little guys. Little guys did not like it.
They want to prove something.
And I'd always be like, who gives a shit?
What's the point of that though? Like, what the fuck? Just going out and have a good time. That's it.
They can't just be happy. It's just
anything. I'm like, I want to make friends with that big ass dude over there in case something goes down and I need some safety. Shit.
When I calmed down, I was like, all right, I'm not throwing fists anymore. I don't care. Fuck it. I got to a point for me personally where it just, I was like, you know what? I'd rather talk my way out of everything. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just be funny or squash this and walk away. And that's where it really went after a while. And it's just like, all right, I'll just tell a few jokes. And if it doesn't work, whatever. You know, like, but at least I stayed on my side. You stayed on your side. We're good. So That's basically it. That was the end of my story. I mean, I could tell some fighting stories if you want, but I don't think anybody wants to hear those.
Let's have you spin the wheel, Mick. Maybe
Dan's like, nah.
I'm the like taskmaster. I did. It's the role I usually do anyway.
I want you to do that.
Master.
I don't mind being gravity.
Did you just call a white man master?
No, I said taskmaster. I didn't say call him master. I was repeating what he said.
All right, where we at? Number 14. 13 and 14.
Yeah, 13 and 14. Yeah.
What if your life had a movie narrator? Who would it be? I like it.
Who was this one for? You, Mick?
Nick.
I mean, I can answer it first.
Go ahead, Nick.
Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, it was a woman's voice I would probably go with.
Marge Simpson.
You know what? I really like Good Omens on Prime. I love the books, first of all. Or actually, I read the screenplays, I should say, but they're not really books. So they do have books, but I read the screenplays. So I really loved Frances McDormand in this. She played God, and she was a narrator in it. And the way she did it, it would either be her, John Bon Jovi, or I'd probably, or it'd have to be somebody. I feel like it would have to be somebody funny, like a sarcastic, snarky funny.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, oh, here comes the elephant out of the door again, shit like that. Like it'd be really fun. Like I want it to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna James answers, but like.
Wait, can we do all time in space?
I'd have to go with Henry Rollins. I'd want Henry Rollins to narrate.
Oh, that was such a good one. But I'm not intense enough anymore. He could have knew my early years.
He's got that. But he has this voice that I feel like anything like. Have you ever listened to his audiobooks?
I've listened to. Yeah,
I could listen to him do pretty much anything. Like
he was one of the best interviewers I've ever watched. His show, his conversational style, it's how I base what I do here, like even more so than like a Stern or somebody like that, who I think is one of the best goats of interviews.
Oh, Stern has a great interview.
Yeah. But fucking Rollins, man, he's so smart. And he's so in your face, and he's not afraid to talk about what he wants to talk about. And I think that's what makes his interviews so good, because it's like, because literally you can be sitting there across, he could be sitting in a chair across a prominent person, and that person's not going to do shit to him because it's Henry Rollins.
Rollins.
So it's like Henry Rollins is an old ass man. He's been an old ass man for like 40 years.
Who would you pick, Nerd?
I got a couple answers for this one. Childhood, James Avery, Shredder voice.
That's a great one.
Teenage, I gotta think about that one. But childhood, James Avery as Shredder. Huh.
Well, let's throw out a little
teenage. Mark Hamill, just because this is teenage. That's Mark Hamill, Joker.
Joker.
Great.
I love that voice, and I'll keep that for now for a little bit, just depending on my moods, and just because he's funny too in a sense. I think he's hilarious. He's crazy as shit, but he's
deranged murderer. But I agree. Well, let's try. I love that. But I mean, it's such an odd answer. I love it.
For the calmness, has to be Morgan Freeman. Has to be Morgan Freeman. Kind of.
I tried to avoid saying that. I tried to avoid it.
But it's he had like his voice is like a hug from a grandpa. So it's like, and then after dealing with the Joker narrating shit all day, it's like, all right, it's time to come down, chill. No, matter of fact, instead of Morgan Freeman, Snoop, because the way I'm gonna calm down is smoking some weed. So Snoop.
That's legit, dude.
So James Avery, Mark Hamill as the Joker, James Avery and then Snoop as Snoop.
I wouldn't mind Kevin Smith either. I feel like he has my jocular type of attitude. I feel like he can narrate a really good one for me. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he would get cocky with it sometimes too. Look at this motherfucker over here. But like he'd either go really shitty or go really nice. I love that
All right, so
narrator has his own mind.
if you guys can do it, if you have, through childhood, teenage, and then adulthood,
I like
who would
that.
your 3 be?
Childhood. That's a good one. All right, I want to do that, but after that, I would love to throw out the idea of changing it up, because I think normally like white people would go with a white actor thinking about it. And black people will go with a black actor sometimes. That's why it was so impressive to me that you said the fucking Joker of all people, a non-person.
He's the Joker. Mark Hamill. Well, that Batman animated series is my favorite of anything Batman, but Mark Hamill's Joker is my favorite of any villain across any freaking. Just because it's just so. The look is cool to me. It was always cool to me. The voice is freaking perfect. The voice is perfect, and he's just nuts. And if they could have made that cartoon if they could have made that, made that animated series, then all that again with that.
But he said he'll never do the voice again because his Batman died.
Yes, which again, that's my favorite Batman all across. It's just
that's a good one.
He would be one too. I feel like
he's too intense. His voice is way too intense.
No, you use that for when you're like doing push-ups and shit.
That's fair.
My childhood, I think I'd have to go with whomever voiced Lion-O. I think that'd be a good fit.
That's a good one.
My teenage years, it would have to be Daniel Stern.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. That's a really.
I know I'm ripping it off, but it'd have to be Daniel Stern. I was so obsessed with the Wonder Years, especially my they call them tweens when you're like 10 to 12. I watched every episode of Wonder Years, and God, that finale. Still to this day, I think about it, and it kind of kills me inside because I wanted Winnie to end up with Kevin. I wanted that to have the happy ending in that show.
It's actually funny you say Kevin and Daniel Stern, because I think I would go as a child, maybe Macaulay Culkin.
Ooh,
that'd be
interesting to have a kid's voice narrating me as a kid, but from my girl.
Okay,
specifically.
Okay,
that one. He's only 2 years older than me too, so I mean, I feel like that wouldn't match up well, Here, we got. Radar says childhood would be Morgan Freeman. Teen would be Michael McCain. I'm going to change it. My teen years would be Michael J. Fox.
There you go.
You love Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And adult would be Samuel L. Jackson. I like that too. Samuel L. Jackson is just great for everything. Kevin James, Chris says Billy Bob. James also says George Carlin.
Those are good.
Samuel L. Jackson. That one right there. That's when you want to curse somebody out. All right. Let's go.
Samuel Jackson. Okay, maybe Samuel Jackson would work
right here.
Yeah, you worked perfect.
What movie? What Samuel Jackson movie? Because he can be calm in some shit.
Whatever.
What this reminds me of a lot is that Chappelle skit. Do you guys remember that Chappelle skit where he says Dave at X age? He's like Dave at 18, Dave at 26, and Dave at 35 or whatever.
Yep.
That's what this reminds me of. It's
that's a good
if you okay, let's do this. It's gonna get a little crazy, but okay, let's say you have 4 TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose. One has to be, because we're all close to 40 here, so one has to be from the years when you were between 1 and 10. One has to be in your teen years between 11 and 20. One has to be 21 to 30, and one has to be 31 to 40. And that's it. Those are your TV shows that you can watch for the rest of your life. Yeah, and I want to go back to the genre one when everybody's here, because that was a great question, Sturdy. But this is one where I feel it's a little bit,
I actually I'm going to write these down.
Darkwing Duck would be my kid one. I love that. I mean, it's a hard one. It's a hard choice. But Darkwing Duck, I think, would be the one that I go with ultimately.
My kid one,
Oh, we can do one at a time. Yeah, if we're doing one at a time, I don't have to write them down.
Yeah.
When did Batman the Animated Series come out? Because that's definitely gonna be in one of those blocks.
1990, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So that was my 1 to 10 range. I'm gonna pick that.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick that because that again, that's my favorite freaking animated shit of all time. It's just so fucking.
It's amazing.
It is.
My God, there's so many.
It's a great choice.
I gotta choose Transformers. I gotta choose I have to. Like I out of obligation. Because does the movie count too, Mick? Because that's the other key part is like.
No, because we can always go back and do movies. But if you want to add that and say that's your movie choice.
Well, I mean, like that's so. The show, it would have to be Transformers. Like it, I watch it unabashedly.
My kid one has to be Back to the Future because that came out when I was, I was like a little kid. But I know I can watch that for the rest of my life and never grow tired.
The series?
No. I'm sorry. I was just adding a movie to it, like you.
Adding the movie. Since you guys added a movie, Ninja Turtles, the original.
Oh, the good fucking choice.
And the reason I chose those over, because I'm debating, I'm like, I love the Ninja Turtles cartoon as a kid, and I still enjoy it now. But Batman's just so much better. I gotta admit it. But the Turtles movies, I fucking love them. I was like, I gotta have Turtles one way or another, and that's the way to have it.
Now, if you can't choose the first Ninja Turtles, which one do you choose?
Part 2.
Really, I would go Mutant Mayhem, man. Mutant Mayhem was fantastic.
Oh, I thought you might have the first 3.
Oh, sorry. No, I meant out of any iteration.
And even honestly, probably still part 2, just because if it's from childhood, because of the nostalgia and all that with it, it holds so much value to me. Because I remember like watching out my younger brother, my younger cousin, and damn near every time we had a slice of pizza with any of those movies. And it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things. I still freaking loved it. Oh my God. And yeah, it has to be Turtles. Fuck it. I got Kevin Eastman's autograph and he drew a turtle in it for me.
Great.
God, my time period is rough for the next one, Mick. My time period would be 93 to 2003.
I know, it's
like
tough, man.
I got to go TNG. Does that count, even though it started before 93?
No, it ended before 93.
I thought it went till 95.
No.
That is a tough.
You can go DS9. DS9 started 92, 93, I think.
Like, too many bad.
Arguably the
best. This is the only show I get to watch forever. I don't want to watch some of those holodeck episodes. Like, in the middle of the Kardashian War, and they decide they want to play baseball. Like, oh God, Buffy, done.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, baby.
I'm sorry. Think about a movie, Sturdy. If you have a show for like the second part, the teenage years, Buffy's a good one. Buffy is a really good one.
Movies easy for that time.
What time frame year is this?
Mine's 93 to 2000.
Mine would be 92 to 2002.
I forgot what the hell. I'm 38 right now. So how old was I? When did I turn a teenager?
So yours would be 95 to 2005.
95 to 05. Okay.
My movie is Army of Darkness, Mick. That's my movie pick. That was 93, right?
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of good movies between there, but I don't like. If I gotta watch it forever, like.
It's so tough. You know what fucks me up a little bit is you guys are more horror guys.
Damn it.
So like you're probably gonna go more horror, but I'm like an all-around guy. So like I'm having a tough time because like I'm like, you know what? I start thinking horror and I'm like, are you going up? And I'm like The Faculty, and then because like it would be an odd one. It's weird. It's got a lot of cool stars in it. It has Hot Lilith from Cheers. So I don't. All right, I don't know.
All right. I think I had my show for teen years because it came out in 01, which is kind of in my range. So I'm gonna say Scrubs because that's one of my favorite sitcoms.
Nice.
I love that show.
I'm such a smart choice.
And I fell on that show on accident. I remember I was late. I came home from work, laying on the couch, just scrolling through channels. Didn't have cable, so you only thrown through all 6 channels or 8 channels, however many it was at the time. And I just happened to watch that, and it was a Christmas episode. And like ever since then, I was like, this show is freaking awesome. It's hilarious. I love how it was like repetitive. The episodes actually mattered and made sense. It wasn't just like a random thing. Even though random stuff happened, it wasn't just like a random thing because they would go back to stuff and just it was awesome. It was awesome.
Ooh. You know what? 92 to 2002, Saturday Night Live. You have the end with Sandler, Spade, Farley, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, all of them. And then you go through and then you have the Will Ferrells, the Sherry O'Terrys, the Chris Kattans, all of them up until like 2002. And that's when you started seeing like Kristen Wiig and stuff start coming in. Those were some very solid years. And look at how many musical artists I get watching that show that I love. And I can always go back and rewatch. So I'd probably have to go SNL. Movie's tough though, man. I don't know that. How do you choose one movie from a formative years of your life?
I just picked the one that I've seen the most anyway. Like, I mean, Army of Darkness, I've watched it so many times.
And I love it. But then I think about you've got me fucked up over this a little bit. Oh, I know. I can watch this hands down anytime it's on TV. I have no issues with it. I love it. Gone in 60 Seconds. It's
Great
a
movie.
Fun movie. I know you hate Nicolas Cage, but whatever. I don't.
But he's wrong. I mean, he's wrong.
He is wrong. We all know this. Sturdy's wrong. Sturdy, go get your Ninja Turtle shirt. I got you.
Nope.
Did you see it, Dan?
I didn't see it. No.
I think I dropped it in the group chat. I
don't think Dan's in that group chat. He's not in the content.
Right. I'll have to share.
You can add him, but I know he doesn't like them, so I don't add people to stuff unless I say it.
2003 to 2013.
Fuck.
That's hard.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it has to be the TV show.
I would have to go Scrubs.
I'd have to go The Office TV show.
Maybe.
And then,
Saturday Night Live. So, you can't pick the same one again.
My movie would be The Departed.
Yeah. Yep. Departed. I'm with Dan. It's amazing to me how none of these are Star Trek and Star Wars.
I know, right? But it's if I gotta watch it on repeat, that's all I get to watch. The Office, I do that anyway already. And then The Departed is it's a perfect film. And
I have a caveat for after this, by the way. So when I want to have one more question after we go all the way through.
I love adding caveats. Let's do it.
Well, I want to wait till the end because it'll be interesting. I want to see what everybody's gonna say. So let me. All right. So we got movies. So I don't know if I'm gonna go Scrubs yet. I'm still thinking because I'm trying to think of what shows came out in that time. I gotta look it up. You know
that's what I'm doing for movies.
How did I not say fucking X-Files at any point?
Somebody else did. Somebody said X-Files in the chat.
Oh, Chris. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Chris. Great one. Oh, I like this, James. Kid, Thomas and Friends. Teen, Gravity Falls. Great show, by the way. I watched that with my kid over the summer. An adult BoJack Horseman. That's solid. And it's right on par, I feel.
It's funny as shit, too.
But all three of those have a lot of self-realization to them. So it tells me a lot about you, James. Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on this plane.
He was referring to Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
Oh, I get it. I do love 90s. X-Files is a great choice. Oh, Supernatural. Yeah. You know what's funny? And I'll say Supernatural because I did not grow tired of it for all those 15 years, but I'm rewatching Smallville with my wife, and I love that show. This is like my 10th rewatch of it all the way through. And I will tell you, there's points their seasons, it gets hard. It gets real hard on that show. So, but Supernatural, even the hard ones, they never had a show. Here's what's funny. If I had a Miyagi line show, a Miyagi line for TV shows and episodes by episodes, like is this episode above this line or whatever? We should think about that. We should come up with one for that. Supernatural will probably have 90% above.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like you were either a Buffy or a Supernatural person. That's and I was a Buffy person. So
Supernatural to me, they took all the best parts of the X-Files and added a lot of great elements. But the drama, all that teen drama from CW was often overshadowed by the fact that it was almost meta. Like they knew that it was like cheesy and they'd make fun of it. You know, like he went really hard on the Batman Dean voice that they called it. Like, but he did it on purpose. Like they were almost, I feel like at some points they were trying to get canceled. Like everybody just kept loving it as they went on. So I'm going to choose Supernatural for my in 2000s.
What'd you say, Stern? The years would be 2005 to 2015.
2001 to 2000 something. I said Scrubs.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
All right, Mick, what's your caveat?
Well, no, we got to pick our last ones from I'm 2012 till now.
Since? Oh God.
Oh.
What do I watch? Parks and Rec, I guess.
Yeah, I'd have to go Parks. I'd probably have to go Parks and Rec too. If not, 30 Rock.
I tried on 30 Rock and I just couldn't. The only episode of 30 Rock I love is the live one.
That's a good one. And they do 2 different versions of it.
Do they too? I did and then the
movie.
They're
different actors in it.
2013 to 2023, the movie.
Well, I'm still covered on Supernatural.
Drive. For me, it would be Drive.
What's Drive?
You like that?
I love that. Oh my God, the book that it's based on is so good. I love
yes, that's a great movie. It's not my movie choice.
Phenomenal movie. Oh my gosh, Sturdy. It's so good. And the soundtrack. Dude, the Night Drive, man. Come on.
Dude, that's with what's his face, right? Venom, right?
Ryan Gosling.
No, it's Ryan Gosling.
No. Okay. I'm thinking of a different movie.
That one, Driver, which is a made-up version of the video game. Drive. It's with Ryan Gosling, and it has somebody unexpected.
Carey Mulligan and Oscar Isaac.
Who's the bad guy though?
Albert Brooks plays the bad guy.
Albert Brooks, and he has this great line about his hands being dirty. And it's Oscar Isaacs before anybody really knew who he was.
Yep. Bryan Cranston's in it.
Bryan Cranston plays this down and out mechanic who it's so good. It's such a phenomenal film.
So the whole premise is that he's a stunt driver, and so the mechanic will get him jobs on movies, but he also gets him job being a wheelman for crimes.
Okay. But he has rules, and they have to stick to the rules.
If they don't stick to the rules, you're out, and because it's all precision. And the opening in this Night Drive, first of all, is one of the greatest fucking. And Dan, you'll appreciate this. When that movie came out, I bought the soundtrack, of course, and I was living in LA at the time, and I would drive around listening to the soundtrack at night.
One of the first things I did 2 things in LA the last time I was out there. And it was way before this movie came out, but I put on the soundtrack to Miami Vice. I know it's not. I know it's not.
I used to do that when I lived in Florida.
I know it's not Florida. I put on the soundtrack to Miami Vice, and I put on Michael Mann's soundtrack to Collateral.
It's so good. It's so good.
You seen that, sir? Collateral?
Nah. And
it's Michael Mann's best movie, hands down.
No.
Better than
I can name, first of all, Heat.
It's better than Heat. It's better than Heat.
Collateral's not better than Heat. I love Collateral. It's amazing.
Should have been Best Picture that year. Look it up. Should have been Best
I don't
Picture.
disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
It wasn't even nominated. I couldn't believe it wasn't nominated. I've been pounding that drum for 20 years now.
Tom Cruise should have been nominated.
he did such a great job in it, and like
that's the only role I can think of. Maybe Magnolia, where he's not Tom Cruise. Like I can always accept when I watch the Mission Impossible, this is Tom Cruise, but I love it. Top Gun, it's Tom Cruise, but I love it. In Collateral, he is not Tom Cruise. He is a vicious assassin who has a job to do, and that is, and
it's so jobby too.
Oh
He's just
God, it's such a great movie. So good. It's such a great. It's vicious. It's hard. It's not a horror movie. It's a thriller. Jamie Foxx in that movie. If Ray is really where he showed, like, you got the acting chops.
Yeah.
Collateral is where you see the intensity, like that really awakened. I think like that's when you're like, oh, this dude can be in like everything.
The part where they're in the cab and he's finally decided, fuck it, and he steps on the gas and he's like, what nothing matters anyway, right? Nothing matters. Can you tell us from a cinematography point what lens man uses in that film to make it look so real, Mick?
You can, but I will be honest, I have to look at it again. I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know it. Like, it's so like gritty and real. I love that movie.
I do too. That is a great choice. Again, I don't know that would be my
I didn't pick it. I didn't pick it. I just thought of it because you said you got to listen to Night Drive while you were in LA, and that made me jealous. But dude,
like it was so much fun to do that. Like, so I lived a lot of places. So like, but for me, it's like I have my mental memories of all the places I've been. Like my favorite spot where it's just a beautiful location, to landscape, to look at, places to eat, stuff like that. Like I log it. I have it logged down somewhere in my files, and just to think fondly of those things again. And one of my favorite spots when I first moved to LA was up in the hills in Laurel Canyon, and like there was just a cul-de-sac up in these mountains, and like you could just see LA. That versus Griffith Park, which is amazing too, because you could see everything from there, and it's got the famous tunnel from like Back to the Future Part 2. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, it's actually way smaller than it looks like in all of them.
Is it?
I ran through it. I was like, I'm gonna run through this and see if I can get through in time.
The only thing I really went to go see when I was in LA was the Michael Myers house. I went over on the north side of Hollywood there, and I went and found Michael Myers' house.
South Orange Grove Ave. Yep, I know it well. When I was I got commissioned to write it was called The Cabin. I was never going to keep that title, but but it was called The Cabin. I was writing a script. I was just trying to channel horror, and like I had like 6 months to write this script, and I was going in and like I was talking to people about fears and stuff like this because I wanted to add all these elements to it. But I would walk up and down that street because it's not the official Michael Myers house, but it was where Annie was babysitting, and right across the street is where Laurie was babysitting, and the Freddy Krueger house. So it's like it generates it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off though, Dan. I apologize.
It's okay. I was just answering Tim. Tim just called me. I was like, dude, anyway, yeah, those are my picks. I
need the betting bros. I need you guys to tell me what's going on.
Tomorrow. I don't know when we're going live, but I gotta imagine it's probably tomorrow around noon or 1.
Can Smash extra hard shit talk the 49ers for me?
You don't need to do that. Don't listen to him. What you can do is say, "Go blue." Let's get that. You already know.
W.
Listen, not my blue. My blue home.
Mick wants the Giants to get one more win.
They might.
I don't care at this point. They've screwed themselves so much. I do kind of like Tommy DeVito though.
They benched him.
I know, it's stupid. I don't think they should have. I think that's the fucking problem. They're not. Well, they tried to develop Danny Jones. He just wasn't good.
Yeah.
But they don't want to develop. Okay, if Danny Jones sucks and he's your starter, why don't you have a good backup that you're developing?
Yeah.
Why aren't you still trying and all that? Like, I don't know. Fucking bullshit.
I'm with you on it.
That's how mad I get about my Giants. There's two types of Giants fans. There's imaginary ones, and there's ones that just fucking hate the Giants for all their decisions until they win.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody curse a football team more than my father. His whole life, maybe. His whole fucking life, because every time he's like, same old Giants.
But you guys got, in your lifetime, you got 2 Super Bowls, man.
In my lifetime, we had 3.
3. Sorry, 3.
And we've been to 4. And you know what? Oh no, 1, 2. We've been to 4. We won 4 Super Bowls, and we've been to 5. We won in 86.
Try being a Lions fan. Try being a Lions fan.
Oh, I know. Listen, I understand it. It's childish. It's a childish, immature way to be. We should not be feeling this way about our team. But
yes, we should be.
I shit you not. Like, there would be something would happen on the field when my dad would be watching the Giants games. Something would happen that God literally made happen. Like a fucking leaf fell on it and they fell over or whatever. Like whatever. Just a catastrophe of an earthquake happened and fucking missed the field goal. And the exact quote would be, same old Giants. And it's like even after they lost I remember it became like a thing after Eli when he won his first one. It was like, oh yeah, we lost the first game of the season, so if we lose the first, but every first game of the season, even if they won a Super Bowl the year before, if they lost, same old Giants.
Yep.
Like 8 months ago, you won.
Nick, I'm supposed to tell you the gold one.
The gold one.
WON. Tim said to tell Mick the gold one.
The gold one. Is this do I have to solve a riddle?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's it. He literally just texted me that. So,
Dan, I think you have to come on here and talk about this. I think
I got to time out real quick. I'll be right back. I got to pop.
All right,
yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
I'll add the caveat when you come back.
You got it.
I will let everybody know now so they can start thinking about it. And then I'll tell Dan. It's good. The caveat is if you can pick one movie and one television show from any point before you were born, what would they be? This is going to be a tough one. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I was born in 82, so
I was born in 85.
God damn, like, well, I mean, Ghostbusters probably for you.
I use that for the movie.
That's true.
Oh, man.
I would have to go, now that I'm doing a rewatch and I've fallen in love with it again so much, my TV show would probably be the original series of Star Trek.
That's fair.
I think it would always just keep me entertained. I can always find an episode. Oh, The Twilight Zone's a great choice.
Before my time.
It's interesting. It's an interesting take on it because
I
don't know if I could choose a movie.
That's my. I'm thinking of both. I'm thinking of a movie and a show. I'm thinking of what I enjoyed, like just from it. Show wise, it would definitely be something from Nick at Night, just because I remember just being up late at night watching whatever came on Nick at Night. So probably something like The Munsters or The Addams Family. Wait, no, how old is that? That ain't that old.
That's before your time.
Okay.
The Munsters?
One of those.
It came out in the
60s. It would be one of those. It would be one of those two shows, just because I always found it funny, and it's the first thing that came to my mind.
So Dan, so you're in on it. It's any movie and any TV show from before you were born. Only one of each.
The movie's got to be The Shining.
See, I can't go. I love that movie, but I can't.
I watched it again the other night. Have you ever seen it? The music video to what's the music video? The Shining music video.
The Kill by
Miranda!
The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars. Have you ever seen that music video?
I feel like I have. I know that song.
Dude, it's sick. Anyway, like it got me thinking about The Shining, and I had to watch it again. So the movie would have to be The Shining. TV show's harder just because, I mean, TV is so different pre-80s, right? I can pick so many things from the 80s that like I can watch on repeat. The problem, my brother was a big fan of TV shows like from the 60s and 70s while he was growing up. He'd have better answers.
I would. I mean, I said Star Trek the original series because I know that would keep me entertained, and I can watch random episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I like James's. Not James. Chris said it. He said the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. It's got to be Twilight Zone. I mean, that's the only show from that pre-80s era that I've seen every episode more than once.
I really liked Gilligan's Island growing up.
See, I've seen a couple episodes. Like, I don't know, man. Like, even Happy Days, like I saw some. Like, I don't know. For whatever reason, the television pre-80s for me just like doesn't. The Twilight Zone does, but everything that I grew up watching just aped the Twilight Zone anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why it is, because it's like a origin point of a lot of the things that I grew up loving. And so that's really easy for me as far as that, I guess, the Twilight Zone, because it's the only one that I've seen multiple times. But movie-wise, it was tough. I mean, but The Shining, again, it's just a perfect movie. I know Mick doesn't think so, but
no. I love The Shining. And here's the thing I love the most about The Shining is the older I get, the more I appreciate it. I always find things the older I get. And I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and you start losing your faculties more as you get older. And that's sort of what it is, kind of losing yourself. It makes it scarier to you. Like when I'm a kid and you're bored, because I didn't really understand. Like bored, and I kind of understood how the kid lived before he moved to the fucking hotel. So like, so my point being, like, I'm like, I mean, it's Tuesday. Cool. You know, like, I wasn't that scared about it. I was like, whatever. He's got an axe at the end. Like, legitimately, that didn't even scare me. I was just kind of like, as a kid, I'm like, Dad's pissed. So I didn't really like, so when I was a kid, but I'm telling you, the older I get, way more appreciate that movie. And here's something I'm gonna tell you, Dan, that I've never said to you before. I like The Shining more than I like Jaws, and you know how I feel about Jaws.
Wow. I mean, I do, but that's saying a lot. You love Jaws.
I love Jaws, and I would probably in this instance choose Jaws because it's not, if it's one movie I have to watch from all that time, I get different feelings from Jaws all throughout, because it can be fun, it can be scary, it can be fun, like an adventurous,
Well, the other part is you can cut out the first third of it and so you can get it done quicker.
Get the fuck out of it. It's so important. It's so important in the story. I don't want you to read my treatment anymore, because he's going to come back and give you the last paragraph back. No, I love you.
Holy shit.
I love that Miranda went straight to for
instant. She just chimed in only to say that, like, because you started talking about Jaws. And, like, I got her Jaws.
And I like Alfred Hitchcock. That's a good one. And James says 89 Batman for the movie, TV show, X-Men the animated series. Like those choices.
Great choices.
Well, Alfred Hitchcock, that's another one. The OG Halloween movie. Nice.
I watch it probably once a month.
That's a good one.
Good answer. Yeah. Alien would have been another really good answer for me. I absolutely love that movie.
Ah, fuck! You threw that one in the mix. This one's going to be tough. I don't know what to think, because, like, what
about Psycho? Because that's another movie that I can watch a lot and notice different things every time. I cannot
watch Psycho anymore.
Nick went to film school, so you can't watch Psycho anymore.
No. I love Psycho. I feel like, all right, here comes a controversial statement. Psycho is overrated, and I think when I watched that movie, I think to myself, this had to have been Alfred Hitchcock showing I can just make a horror movie and I'd be a fucking perfect movie, because he was essentially the perfect filmmaker So, so Psycho, by comparison to most of his major movies,
I disagree completely.
It just not the same. And I do want to hear your counterpoint, because I as much as you drive me crazy, I love them. But let me get this point out real quick. So Psycho to me is as big as it is because the horror genre exists and there's so many fans now. And it's almost like saying thank you, Grandpa, for making this amazing family.
Thank you, Grandpa.
And that's the only reason we hold that in high regard, because it doesn't deserve it. Let's talk about Rope or North by Northwest or Rear Window or all of these amazingly done. Oh, God damn it. I hate when you shake your head, but I love it at the same time. That's why we're friends.
None of the rest of his films are superior. Psycho is his masterpiece.
Oh.
Not even Vertigo. I love Vertigo. Vertigo is a phenomenal movie. You want to know what movie I'll never watch again?
What?
The Birds. I'll never sit down. I've tried to watch that movie.
Okay,
probably
Birds is worse than Psycho.
That movie is bad. It's a bad film. I'm sorry. It's a bad movie. I don't like, people can disagree with me on it. Like, I don't think it's well shot. I don't think the plot is very fluid. I still don't understand what's going on at the end of the movie, really. Like,
they just settled down. They were just like, yeah, now we're good.
Rear Window is a great film, but it's not better than Psycho. The drama isn't better than
You're
Psycho.
Insane. You're insane.
Like,
I'm sorry. I am talking over your point. You give me respect, so I'm going to shut up.
The shots in Psycho, Mick, and now I understand it's coming towards the end of his career. I understand that, right? Like, so he's perfected everything by that moment. And he's like, oh yeah, well, here we go. But that's the best part, is that it is so flawless in its everything that it does. There is no flaw from start to finish in Psycho. It is beyond critique. Beyond critique.
My wife points out I didn't even think about Dial M for Murder. So
Dial M for Murder, but he's honing. That's the problem with those 1950 ones. He's still honing his skills. There are flaws in all of them.
But he was so experimental in those times that we didn't get things like, and it's almost a detriment to the movie that his shots are so pristine in it. Again, I like Psycho. I just don't think I ever need to watch it again. There's a lot of movies I could say that about now. And I want to add this. A lot of people don't feel this way. In the past, like maybe 3 years or so, I have been feeling more and more as I get older of getting tired of rewatching. So, like, to be honest, this Warp Factor Fiction Star Trek rewatch is going to be my last rewatch of Star Trek.
Wow.
Now, will I watch things in Star Trek, like random episodes or this? Yes. But that is the base of which I go to after I'm done with this rewatch. That's why it's such a big deal, and I get to do it with my son. So, like, it's huge for me. And then it's just going to be done. I will have seen everything, even the stuff that I missed through the years, and I can let it go. I have officially done that with many shows. I don't think there's... Smallville's done after this. I'm not going to revisit it anymore except for episodes. Buffy has already been done. That's been for a few years where I was like, I'll just revisit. So I've gotten to a point in my life where it's like, even with movies, it's like I have to, like, there's so many new things coming out I have to watch for work now. And all that shit. That's why I created Does It Suck? And like, Did I Fix? It's not for, like, it's not just, well, it's not, I hope it's entertaining, but it's so I can rewatch stuff that I really want to check out again. And that's why they're so different from like a lot. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, Dan, and I know you'll agree with this. I got maybe about 5 or 6 more watches of Jaws in me. And that's a big deal, because I usually watch that at least twice a year. But I need to start moving forward.
What movie that you've watched since forever, whatever, like, are you growing to be done with? I think that's an interesting inversion of the question. It's like, what movie that you hold in the pantheon of film as like a perfect film will you probably not watch again?
There's a lot. There's a lot as I think about it. I'm officially done with Shawshank Redemption. Now, if it's on TV, I might leave it playing, but I am not going to search out to rewatch. Or if I'm in a friend's house, it's like, hey, I want to watch Shawshank Redemption. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's instances where I might rewatch something. But as I love Shawshank Redemption, I've seen it tons of times because it was such a go-to in movies for me, but it's the same as Jaws. It's like, I've seen you enough. I need to look at other things.
I can understand that because it was the second best movie of 1994. So,
yeah, Pulp Fiction might be going that way. Reservoir Dogs. So there's a lot, and again, it's not anything to say like these movies just aren't good enough to keep being rewatched. They're preserved in my mind forever. I have so many wonderful memories watching these movies, but there's just so much to watch, and I need to keep up with it. And it's like these can't be the Godzillas right now. The Godzillas are my last rewatch. I'm not rewatching these. This is why I'm doing this big thing for the 70th.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be it for me. And then it's just like if it's on,
do you have a movie like that?
Sorry.
Honestly, I don't. But what I will say is, I can answer movies that I won't rewatch. Like I'll never go through the Marvel thing again. What was that? From Endgame up to Endgame.
Yeah,
I did that with Worst Dan for his show, and I'm never doing that again. Doing the Godzilla thing with Mick after that, I'll never do Godzilla again. Like stuff like that, like this. And then Popcorn and Pints, we're doing Star Wars versus Star Trek. I'll probably never do those again. Like I'm more of like. For those type of films and franchises and all that, it's more so of like if I'm doing it for a show, I'll watch it just because it's so much content and I have to do so much around. You know, I have to do so much for my show anyway that I don't really have enough time to watch those type of things. It's like a pleasure thing. It's like if I'm going to do that, I'd rather watch something shorter or a show or something I can watch with the wife.
Yeah,
I can't watch you know what I mean? It's tough to watch all those kind of movies on top of everything else. But if it's for the content, I'm like, okay, I have to watch this shit anyway. So now I can watch other things. So it's more so like that than what would I not, because my rewatches here and there, I'll still go to them. The ones that I do rewatch, I just don't go to them as much. And I like how you mentioned Jaws, Mick. Jaws is one of those movies, as good as it is, it's something I watch like every few years. So for movies like that I really enjoy, I'm just like I think it's a really good movie, but there's a lot I'll put on before, like a Friday the 13th, I'll put that on before Jaws. But it's just more fun to watch.
There are movies that stand, and it's funny because a lot of these movies that stand above this, in my opinion, where it's like, okay, I will never. Well, first of all, Back to the Future. I will never be done with Back to the Future. It's my joy movie, and RoboCop as well. Like those are like joy movies to me. Like,
RoboCop.
I fucking love RoboCop, dude.
I love RoboCop too, but that's a joy movie.
It's a joy movie in a sense that, like, I don't know, there's something nostalgic about it when I watch it. I'm like, I remember when I was a kid watching it with my brother, so like it brings me back to a point when I watch this, it brings me joy. Like, so I just feel joy. It's another one. And again, they don't have to be joyful movies because like A Few Good Men is another one. When I watch that movie, it just brings me joy. And Princess Bride, another one. But that is a joyful movie. So like there are certain movies that aren't going to go away. But I have to end certain ones, these masterpieces. But I will tell you, I love Sturdy, your point, because for me, it's if my wife hasn't seen it, it's still on the table.
Yeah,
that's fair too. I can't think of guys. I'm being honest when I say this. Like so I missed a TV show when we were going through this that I probably should have mentioned. This Futurama. I've watched every episode of Futurama on repeat. Since I just I didn't discover the show, but I started watching it in like 2003, and since then on DVD I've just been rewatching them as I go to sleep, and now I have them on streaming every night. Like this I've seen every episode an obnoxious number of times. I replay entire video games instead of going to YouTube for moments. So I don't know. Like it's really hard for me to answer this. Like.
Futurama is a really good one. Even if I chose The Simpsons in my teen years, like I chose SNL, I would be satisfied if it was only those 10 years, because that's like seasons 2 through 11. 11 started kind of turning, but like those first 10 seasons were solid.
I know what movie, and it's actually what's weird is it's not a movie that I'm putting my pantheon, but a movie that I'll probably never watch again, and it's because of the pandemic. I will probably never watch the original Chainsaw Massacre because how many times in 2020, Mick? How many times did we watch that movie? Like
that
7 times.
Sleepaway Camp are done. I can't ever do them again.
I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I had by the last time I did it, Frank showed it for something, and I tuned in. It was like a live watch, and like I had such a headache at the end of it, and all that entire movie is screaming. They from the beginning of the movie to the end, they just start screaming, and like by the end, Tim feels the same way too. He's like, I don't think I ever need to watch that movie again. And I was like, I think I'm with you. I don't know if I ever need to sit down and be like, you know what I'm gonna watch? The original. Now the remake, which is a far better movie. I might watch that.
We're doing it on his show next week.
Are you doing it, Sturd?
You said doing what? Wait, you said The Thing, right?
No, he said Texas Chainsaw.
Oh no! I was talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then I thought he was talking about The Thing after that.
That's the one movie that I'll say I don't even own a physical copy of it. Like, I don't put it in the pantheon the way some people do because I feel like it's almost close. It's kind of like those, you know, what were those movies in the 2000s about Americans being tourists and they get killed. Hostel. Like movies cross a line, and Texas Chainsaw crosses a line for me. It's like it's not a fun movie to watch because it's almost torture porn. It's like so close to being torture porn that it might kind of be torture porn. And like I just don't enjoy it. I don't like it, there's no facet of that film where I'm like, man, I love watching Texas Chainsaw. Like I can respect what it did. I can respect Toby Hooper because I think he's a great director. I'll probably never watch that movie again.
I agree. I'm with you. I don't ever need. I was never that fancy on it anyway. Like I respect the cinematography and the direction he put through, and the boundaries pushed for the time. It's not a great movie, and by any means, like, it's not like I'm a story guy. Give me some fucking story. You know, at least Hostel was like somewhat like, I wonder what the fuck else is going on. You know, like who are these people that are doing this? Like, it made me ask questions, which can at least I can attribute to like an interest, if you will.
I kind of like Radar's inversion of this question. Like, what movie do you wish you could watch for the first time all over again?
I like that. Let's roll down because there's a lot of people watching. Miranda says, "Get a hold of yourself over Jaws." Rear Window for film. Yeah, I love Rear Window. Rear Window might be better than Psycho for real. I love it. The right people agree. Psycho sucks, and here's why. Back then, it had never been done. Now everyone knows about the twist, which is why that movie stuck. Can I ask you guys this while I roll through these? Your opinion, what's a better twist, Psycho or Sixth Sense? Oh, Dan, you figured out Sixth Sense.
I ruined Sixth Sense for everybody because the waiter didn't talk to the guy, Bruce Willis at the table. I ruined it for the whole theater. Like I'll always feel guilty about that. I was like, oh, he's dead. Everybody it got awkward real quick.
Holy
real quick.
Yeah, that does suck.
I agree with what my wife says here. Like, I've already watched this movie on ad nauseum for 20 years. Okay, I'm probably not going to stop. I'm not going to stop watching Army of Darkness. I'm not. I watch Dream Warriors sometimes once a week. I've seen Blade Runner so many times. Like,
but that's your movie. Like, so like, but this is out of the purview movie. So like, I know why Miranda is saying like, you gotta watch Jaws. Like, that's her movie. She's gonna stick with that. But I think that what makes this question interesting is like, what to you is something you can walk away from? You know, what can you leave on the table and be like, I've seen it enough. I love it. I got to walk away. Like, I don't think I'll ever watch Saving Private Ryan again. I'm never gonna watch Schindler's List again. I know like these dark movies.
You
like
love Schindler's List though, or you're like, man, I love this movie.
I think, but I was a filmmaker, so like masterpiece films speak to me in such like in a way where it's like like I'm inspired to like want to do it, and create stuff like that. So
I don't know if I ever need to watch the original Star Wars trilogy again. How about that? I'm not saying I won't, but I don't know. I don't know if I
Star Wars trilogy. I cannot agree to I can't agree to that one.
Love Empire Strikes Back is an S-class movie for me. Somebody asked that about tiers. I actually have like 500 movies that I made into S, A, B, and C tier movies.
So what is the tiers? So because I did see that he said he wanted me to do a tier list ranking of Stephen King
S,
films.
A, B, C. That's how I ranked him. I didn't bother going beneath C because if it's beneath the C, I probably didn't want to watch it anyway.
What's an S?
S is perfect. There are only, I think, what did I say? I have 32 perfect films or something like that.
So is it like A, B, C? Why do you do
S? S is perfect. It's like in video games. S is perfect. A is like near perfect. B is good or great maybe, and C is good. I don't like.
Okay.
I'll just rank them. I'll just put them in order. I'll do it on Letterboxd.
There you go.
Because I can't figure that out. Not right now, anyway.
Star Wars is a franchise I could probably walk away from. I'm not kidding when I say that. I could probably walk away.
I think outside of the original trilogy, I could walk away from everything too. Even and here's the crazy part: even seeing anything going forward.
I loved Ahsoka. Like it was a great show.
Oh yeah.
And is it Andor? Is that the other one? That's like kind of dark.
Very good.
Great. I could probably walk away from the whole franchise and not miss it too much. Even the original trilogy, like, I'm sorry, Luke. I'm sorry. Like, Twin Sons will be a top 10 moment in cinema history for me.
On my arm.
Empire Strikes Back is a perfect film. It's an S-class film for me. And I still don't. If I never watched it again, I would not feel incomplete.
Okay.
There you go. There's my answer. Is the original Star Wars trilogy. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
I like your answer. I mean, I don't like your answer, but I do like I respect your answer. Because I get that. Now, Sturdy, how about you? What I know you got to get going soon, and I know you have a show tonight, and I want to promote that. Yeah. Tonight it's called Horror Sir Sturdy. Go check it out. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Oh no, it's Late Nights with Sir Sturdy. That's where you're gonna get all the weird movies. There's no Hollywood movies on Late Nights with Sir Sturdy. It's gonna be independent movies. So indie people, holla at your boy. I know it's late, but listen, you gotta wake up late, or you gotta stay up late. And it's B movies. It's all that shit. Just to give you an example, tonight we're reviewing a movie called Mutant Girl Squad.
Awesome.
Some weird shit, but
I told you, talk to Dan and Tim. They'll give you some titles.
Oh, yes, Dan, I'm gonna be reaching out to you in the near future to help me with this wheel that I have to put some more weird stuff on there.
Love it.
Weird horror stuff, because it needs to be seen, and people like to see the weird stuff and talk about the weird stuff late at night. That's what I do, at least. So
can I ask before you go?
Yeah, I got a few minutes. It's just like 10-ish.
Oh, okay.
So you're good.
Yeah, it's nice and breezy, and I want everybody to answer this too. And I'm going to get back to the comments in just a sec. But what is a movie or movies? I'll give you up to 5 if you want, but 1 to 5 you could pick that you think should be erased from history.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Love that. Right there.
Irreversible.
Really?
I despise that film, and I don't think it needed to be made. Oh, actually, can I just throw an entire person's work down in this tube? Lars von Trier.
Fair. All right.
Lars von Trier can never make another movie again, and I would love to erase like anything that he's done. I've tried to tune in just because I'm like, well, like especially what was the one with the Green Goblin?
Antichrist.
Oh my God, it was terrible. He thinks his smarts smell good. You can tell he's a fart sniffer. Like Lars von Trier is a terrible director. His stories are terrible. He thinks he's so clever with his shots, and he just retreads everything that was already done in the 90s by better directors in the first place.
Shit,
like he's a fart sniffer, and I wish he never made films.
Sniffer. I love it. So don't ever call, if you think somebody's an asshole, don't ever call him anything else, please. I want that pegged, Smash Incorporated. He's a fart sniffer. That's that. I love that. That made my fucking day.
Brandon had a good one too. I didn't put that one in there. Oh.
Let me scroll through real quick before we get to Sturdy, because I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, we just got a ton of there's a ton of stuff.
That's funny.
All right, so and we do have Radar's question I want to come back to after this. Okay. So Chris says, would you ever, oh yeah, I'll do that. No problem. Could be done with the entire Saw franchise, old and new. I could do that. Dan also ruined the end of Succession for me too after watching just one episode. So it's kind of his thing. You know what? I'm glad he did, because that just sucked. Interstellar is a masterpiece, but did you just say no to Interstellar is a masterpiece, but I think could be done with that. I wouldn't agree. I don't think my wife's seen it, so I'd probably watch it again, but that would probably be it. I love Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't need to see it again. That's nice. I agree. Erase Human Centipede. Here's the funny part. And fear.com for I just reviewed that over the summer. So for Does It Suck? And
it does.
It does. It does abysmally. And I saw that in theaters. Here's where my thinking comes in, and Cannibal Holocaust is a great fucking choice. Anything lost? Lars von Trier is a I agree. Human Centipede, great choice. But to me, the biggest, most disgusting thing you can do when it comes to movies is something like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, man.
or Ridiculous Six, or so, it's like, and I'm not just trying to peg them. There's plenty of other comedians or other movies that have been made where it's just like, get rid of this. But Paul Blart Mall Cop is the herpes of the movie world.
Oh wow. The herpes of the movie world.
I might even up it to chlamydia.
Well, here's it stick with herpes though, because it can't be killed. Like herpes, that's forever.
We're stuck with it. It's terrible.
And they make money. They make money. You know that. They make everyone.
You know why they make money? They make the same fucking money for the same reason that Big Bang Theory made money, and it was astronomical, and Friends made money, and fucking they made a Young Sheldon because we needed that. But it's because old people and CBS and all their bullshit. Paul Blart Mall Cops, and I know it succeeded because I remember I was with my parents. They rented it, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And I watched this, and I'm like, this is an atrocity to human civilization. And they are laughing their asses off. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I could watch that movie and never laugh.
I might throw up thinking about that movie.
You know what? I got one. I got another one. Napoleon Dynamite. That should have never happened.
Oh, come on, Sturdy. No, come on, man.
I love Napoleon Dynamite.
I love that movie. You know what's the best part about that movie?
Chuckled at it or kind of laughed at it is when we reviewed it for Popcorn and Pines, and I was high as shit, but it almost ruined my high. So get rid of that shit.
No, come on.
Tina, eat the food.
The best part is it's this like weird anachronism. And it like has this perfect snapshot, right? It's this perfect snapshot, even though it was filmed in the mid 2000s, it's a perfect snapshot of like 1997-ish, right? 1997. It's this perfect snapshot of 1997. And I love that movie. I would watch it right now. I love that movie. It's so offbeat and quirky and fun. Like,
here's why I'm offended by your choice here, Sturdy. That is literally the whitest movie that ever existed.
That's probably why it's not funny.
Fair. But name any other race we could eliminate a movie from. But you guys attack the whitest movie ever made, and all they do is dance.
Here's the thing though, is because everybody would hype it up that it's so hilarious, and I'm watching it, I'm like, this shit is not fucking funny at all.
My wife's with you, Sturdy. So.
What's
another movie? Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure. Stupid as shit.
Pull me out, man. Pull me out.
That movie,
dude, you're killing me, Sturdy. You're killing me.
You're killing me right now.
You listen, Mick. You asked,
right.
And with that one, again, popcorn and pints. Everybody on the episode was like, "How do you not find this funny?" I'm like, "It's not funny."
There's a new rule. New Scene Snobs rule. New Scene Snobs rule, and I think it should be on Horror Source 32. If you're gonna say you don't like a fucking classic, you have to recommend something that you think other people should watch from the same era. From the same
era. So if they didn't watch,
I think it was 89,
91.
What year did Wayne's World? What year did Wayne's World come out?
Oh,
okay, yeah,
so Wayne's World is a better. Sturdy
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out in 89. I'd pick Wayne's World over that if they came out around the same time.
Okay, yeah,
that's fair. Good choice.
That's a
good choice. Fucking hilarious. Love Wayne's World. Actually, I think
I love that.
We're reviewing together.
Now I just want to make a double header.
That's such a good choice. I love that so much. That's a great fucking choice. I'll say this. I can't believe you want to get rid of it, but if I do love Bill and Ted, but if I'm going to refer a movie over it that I think is funnier for that time frame, The Burbs.
I was gonna say Beetlejuice.
I like Beetlejuice, but like that's a movie I could never watch again. I'd probably be okay.
It's Beetlejuice, Mick.
I love it, but I don't know.
How do you feel? I'm super curious about this. How do you feel about the movie The Never Ending Story?
It fucking sucks. It's horrible.
Mick,
and I'm glad the fucking horse is dead. I'm glad the horse is dead.
Hey, that's a horrible thing to say, Mick.
That's
a horrible animal death. But honestly, I haven't seen that movie since childhood. So I'd have to give it a revisit. I'd have to give it a revisit. As a kid, I loved it.
Revisit.
Oh, I hate that movie. I'm going to recommend something. My wife was right. Stardust. I think it's a better movie.
Better than Never Ending Story.
That's a better movie. It has swashbuckling. It's Robert De Niro's.
I heard you, Lady Manhattan. It is not better than Never Ending Story.
It is. You're just thinking of nostalgia in the song. That's it.
No, the whole story is so good.
No, it's terrible.
And as a kid, oh my God, as a kid, you're like, oh, is he gonna lose? And they already killed the horse, so he might lose.
Dan, I just told you that I watched The Shining as a child and was like, oh, I mean, yeah, I get this. And you're going to talk to me about a kid getting bullied?
We were
Cry about it in an attic.
We were pummeled by films. Listen, that is it. I think that is a perfect example of a fantasy film that every child should watch.
No, I disagree. Don't fucking watch it. It sucks. It's terrible. The only other movie I'm telling you not to watch is The Sound of Music, and I will not recommend. You know what? I'll recommend every other fucking musical over The Sound of Music.
I've never
watched those instead. Watch The Greatest Showman. Better movie.
That was. I enjoyed that, and I don't even like musicals.
I
like this new rule that you gotta if you're gonna hate on it,
you gotta recommend something.
Yep.
So, and it wasn't Bill and Ted that I reviewed, or the Bill and Ted with Wayne's World. Wayne's World was with Back to the Future. Bill and Ted was with The Green Mile. So
what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's why you hated Bill and Ted, because The Green Mile blew you out of the water, and you're like, hey.
No, I watched Bill and Ted first, and I didn't laugh at it. So then I'm like, oh, fair. And then I watched The Green Mile, and as long as it was
so funny,
you know what it was The Green Mile. Excellent movie, yes. Did not feel long. Bill and Ted, I was like, when the fuck is this going to be?
Have you seen the sequel though, Sturdy? Because it's one of those movies that the sequel is better than the original.
What, Bill and Ted?
Yeah.
You're
Bill
insane.
and Ted's Bogus Journey is so.
I love Bogus Journey, and I like Face the Music.
I did too, yeah. Although I kind of it made me sad, but
it did make me a little sad. That's true.
Sturdy, have you seen the sequel?
Sturdy's like, fuck those movies.
Nah.
So Bogus Journey, in my opinion, is better. It's darker, funnier. Like
it is. There's more horror elements.
There's more horror elements in it. It's. I think the superior film to the first one. So.
Maybe it's the nostalgia speaking, but I don't know. I don't agree.
I love Weird Science, Chris. I love that movie.
I do. I like Weird Science.
It was fun.
Is he saying that he wants it erased?
You want to erase? Unpopular opinion, erase Dumb and Dumber. That's not unpopular. I agree. I would erase that before like a Napoleon Dynamite or something. Like I think Dumb and Dumber is maybe Jim Carrey's worst work.
I would say,
first of all, I like Jim Carrey dramatic actor. I'm sorry, Sturdy, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to point that out. I like Jim Carrey dramatic more than I like Jim Carrey funny.
Comedy. Cable Guy for Jim Carrey's movies.
Cable Guy's a masterpiece.
Great movie.
But Dumb and Dumber is great.
Yeah. It's I mean, like, I don't know. I just disagree, man. Like I just, even back in the day, I was like, it's funny.
Here's the thing: is it's not Jim Carrey that makes that movie.
No, it's Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels does a phenomenal job in that movie. I know it made Jim Carrey, but like Jeff Daniels does a phenomenal job in that movie.
Well, Ace Ventura, I would say, is what made Jim Carrey. That was like his.
You know what? I don't. Unpopular opinion. I don't think that Ace Ventura is that funny.
I agree. Again, like I think The Majestic is one of his better movies, and nobody watched it.
What do you say, Stern?
I haven't seen those two movies in years. What's your guys' favorite comedy Jim Carrey movie? Mine is The Mask.
Cable Guy. Cable Guy is my favorite Jim Carrey comedy.
Such a good one. I'd have to think about it. The Mask is a good one. My wife said The Mask.
I will say The Mask is the movie that I think everybody around our age, Mick, could probably say this. They hit puberty the second that one individual walked through the door.
Shit. Yeah. I just watched the movie last year. I'm gonna say puberty again.
That is, in my opinion, that is the best. And she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But that is the best Cameron Diaz has ever looked. Like, I don't know what it is about her in that movie. She's adorable.
They
personality too. I shouldn't say looked, but like her, just even her character, person,
attitude, and all that. But I mean, they played it up too, because you gotta think of when he had the mask on with the whole cartoony shit. They kind of had to play up her looks and all that. I'm not saying she's not a beautiful woman at all, but they really, really had to like,
have
fair. The perfect lighting, perfect everything.
The hell out of her in that movie. Like, she was soft lit. That holy hell. Number 23 is underrated, Chris.
I liked number 23.
I won't say I necessarily liked it, but people talk about it like it's the worst movie ever, and I don't think it's the worst movie ever.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I do love How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So if we're talking comedy, all right, is The Truman Show a comedy?
Yes, it's dark comedy.
Then that's my favorite Jim Carrey.
Satire. See, here's the thing: if Truman Show isn't a comedy, then Cable Guy isn't, right?
Cable Guy, I would call like maybe a comedic thriller.
Cable Guy is satire, dark comedy at its finest.
Dark comedy. Dark comedy would be the best. Yeah. Sorry.
That movie and how his entire speech at the end speaks into an entire generation of us that we in the 80s, we like, it's why we have all the nostalgia that we have. We were plopped in front of a TV with our ecto cooler and for him, it was the same type of thing, right? And like, it spoke to me, especially the first time I saw it as a kid. I was like, oh my God, like.
Wait, are we still thinking about Jim Carrey's our favorite Jim Carrey movie?
We're just non-horror.
Because Eternal Sunshine.
That's not comedy though.
No. But I will say this: I have a very soft spot. It's like a movie that I love to watch when it's on. Yes Man.
It's adorable, but the better version was the first time. What was the first version?
I don't know. I don't know if I saw it.
What was the movie he did before that? It wasn't Yes Man, but it was like the same type of premise. Liar.
I did like Liar, but I liked Yes Man more because it was cute.
The Liar Liar, the part where he's in the elevator.
I'm kicking
And
my ass.
he has to tell his boss the truth about everything. Like,
did you ever see the hidden character in that movie? When he's being wheeled out in a stretcher at the end at the airport, Fire Marshal Bob is right behind him.
Fire Marshal
Bill is right behind him.
Awesome.
It's him dressed as Fire Marshal Bill in the background playing a. It's hilarious. Awesome. Man on the Moon is a really good movie that I think gets slept on quite a bit. And of course, Mr. Popper's Penguins too. So yeah. Dude,
Once
yeah,
Bitten, I don't know that one, Radar. What is that?
Which one? That's the one where he was a teenager. He's a virgin, and Laura Hutton plays the vampire that's trying to. She needs virgin blood to stay young, or young looking, or whatever. Erin Gray plays his girlfriend in it, and so like he gets bit, so he has like vampire. It's funny. It's an old Jim Carrey
movie. His worst movie is probably Earth Girls Are Easy.
No, I don't know. That was I liked that one.
Really?
I liked it. I thought that was a fun one. Oh no, his worst movie is Burt Wonderstone.
I didn't mind it. I did not mind that movie.
The fuck
I thought it was funny.
Wonderstone. I never even heard of that shit.
He's a magician, and so is Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah,
I just have a soft spot for magicians, basically. I think, but basically, Jim Carrey plays like a Chris Angel type guy.
Yeah,
and like it's funny.
Oh,
I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, I know his worst movie, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
He's in that.
He was in that.
I guess so. He's listed. I don't know who he played.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
That was so fucking bad. I don't even want to claim it on my Letterboxd. I don't know. Oh, but I do want to get back to what Radar had brought up, I believe, or it was either Chris or Radar said it. Oh, are you taking off?
We could watch.
I can answer that question though. What movie would you want to go and see again for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question. But okay, here, can I ask, what do you guys think? Is it go back to the first time you actually watched the movie, or the feeling of the first time watching the movie?
That's like you watch it now, like, and you get high again for the first time, like you did way back when.
I don't know if I would though. I love Back to the Future. I don't know if at 41 I'd feel about it. When I watch Back to the Future, a rush comes over me of like the good parts of my childhood.
All right, let's maybe remix the question. You go back and watch that movie for the first time at your age, but in that time period. So like Back to the Future in 84.
Your age, so it would be what, 1984, Mick? So 40-year-old Mick goes back to 1984 to watch it for the first time.
You might get a different.
I would love doing that. I would love. No, I wouldn't want to watch it for the first time like that. If I could travel back in time, I would want to watch it on premiere opening night.
How old would you want to be?
It, and I'd want to see everyone else's reactions of the first time.
So you'd want a memory of it?
Yeah. Like watching it with my kids is great, but can you imagine sitting in the premiere opening night and watching everybody's joy?
Do you have a different?
You want to hop into the DeLorean, go back to the past, and watch just like I'm gonna watch it with these. I already know what's gonna happen.
I would jump back even farther, just a little bit though, just a little bit farther, and I would say even to like the cast. Like, do you know what this movie's gonna? Michael, hold on, I got more to tell you. But do you know what this movie?
I know what movie I wish. I wish that I could watch Goonies for the first time all over again.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I took my cousins to see it in the theater, and they had never seen it before. I took my cousins to see it in the theater back in, like, I want to say it was like 2004, and watching their faces watch that movie, like, I wish I could rewatch it all over again and feel, and I would. I think 40-year-old me would feel the same way about it. I think I would, because it just speaks that entire idea of like adventure and treasure hunting and being so like innocent. Like that speaks a lot to me. Like I talk to my students all the time about like how I feel like they get robbed of their childhood because of social media and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. I wish I could feel the same way I did first time I saw that movie. And I mean, I was born in 83. So like, I think the first time I saw the movie was probably 87, 88.
That's a great choice. And for all the same feelings and everything you said, my choice to watch it for the first time to have that feeling, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was thinking that same thing. The first movie.
It was that like first time I saw it in the theater. I was 6. I saw it in the
blew it away, man. Like it was just like you're like they're live, they're on screen, they're real.
Yeah. I would say that's a great choice. Or I'm trying to think of a movie that I like really enjoy, or maybe enjoyed as a kid, but maybe not really understood everything going on in it until the adulthood. But going back to see something like that,
no.
Oh fuck!
I wouldn't mind going to, because I didn't see it in theaters when it came out. It'd be kind of cool to go back and watch for the first time Pulp Fiction.
Did it get a theatrical release? That's a serious question. Did it? Okay, I didn't know if it did.
Yeah, it did. It was at I think it was at Cannes that it premiered.
Oh, I knew Miranda was going to pick hers. I knew she was going to pick that one. She keeps talking about that social experience that we had watching that movie. Like
Endgame. I like that choice. That's a good choice.
You know what? I'm gonna say
original Halloween's good.
Batman Returns. I loved that movie as a kid, but just like watching it as an adult, understanding more shit that went on with that would be the movie for me. But going back, even at this age right now,
be 1991,
91, and seeing it for the first time. Fuck everyone else's experience and me knowing. No, I want to see that for the first time as an adult, because I understand a lot of the other shit, the sexual tension, not just that, but just the story and others, everything, why he's doing what he's doing. Because as a kid, this is Batman, he's cool, he's fighting, and that's pretty much it.
I'm not going to take away from the Ninja Turtles, but another cool one would be for me, if I could choose a point where I would want to watch a movie for the first time. And now this will make more sense in a second after I tell the story. So my brothers went and they skipped school to watch Batman in 89 on opening day. And they went out, they got crazy, like they were spray painting, they were doing all types of shit all day until the movie started. And so the point of it was one of their friends got hit by a car. Now nothing happened, he was all right, but he got hurt. So like the brother that was with him stayed, and he was like, all right, you guys go to Batman, whatever. They go. I just remember them getting their asses kicked, right, by my dad, when everybody found out. And I was like, I don't know why, but I always wish I shared in that experience with them.
And they probably said it was worth it.
They still kind of do.
I think a good one, two really good, because I often think about this, and I wrote about it a little bit in one of my film classes. Like, so two movies that changed the landscape of film a lot in the 90s were Terminator 2 and The Matrix.
Yeah.
And seeing both of them when I was that age in the theater was great. But seeing them at 40 and getting to experience that, like, if that would have been pretty freaking cool. Like being 40 years old and seeing Terminator 2 and seeing a movie that just wowed you to the point where you're like, Dennis Leary, when that movie came out, Dennis Leary said no movie will ever top that. And I don't necessarily disagree to a certain extent as far as like the epicness, but The Matrix the same way is like it reshaped cinema, like as far as what it meant to be like a film.
You're not wrong.
I think that would be really cool. That would be really cool.
It's actually kind of funny that you say that too, because just to think about it from a sci-fi element, because I would argue that sci-fi movies tend to do that more than any other genre in shaping where we're going to see movies go.
Oh, yeah.
Because sci-fi, like horror is horror. You can have a horror comedy, but you can't have a horror drama. You know, there's just going to be drama in it. You know, like you can have a really dramatic horror movie, but like there's no shakeup with sci-fi. You can literally do sci-fi anywhere at any point in time, and it's just different, and you can change the game. Like so, like and also I think Star Trek plays a lot into it in technology. It shaped where we go and how we think of things. So to say that, and to this point, that's a Terminator 2 and what it did in just terms of CGI. But I would also, and I know you're going to disagree with me, Dan, I would add Jurassic Park was just as influential in terms of filmmaking and how it's going to sort of changes the game in terms of special effects. It is that.
If you're talking about special effects, I'm with you on it.
It's a great fucking movie.
No, I love the original Jurassic Park.
Sturdy's got a bounce. Might be a good ending point, Mick. What do you think?
All right. Well, go check out Sturdy, 12 o'clock tonight. Love you guys. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Sturdy. Appreciate you being on here. Spinning the wheel. Time. Thank you all for joining in for a great conversation. Again, I'm Mick Nite from the Scene Snobs. Come check us out. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards. I'm a little high. I'll talk to you soon. Remember to be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves because that's very important too.
Yes. Peace.